Hi, I'm Shaw Grigsby from One More Cast, and I'm here with Bruce Essig. Now, Bruce probably knows more about batteries than just about anybody in the country. He's been in the business for 35 years, knows the ins and outs of pretty much every battery that's built out there. And what I want to ask you is what makes this battery, the ODYSSEY battery that I use in my boat, so durable, long-lasting, and so special?
Lead-acid batteries can be manufactured using two different formats. The most popular is automotive recycled lead.
Okay.
And an alloy material, today calcium. You blend the two of them together, you get nice stiff grids. You can use a fairly low-cost manufacturing process. And you can get a pretty good battery, but it has issues that we all know about. Catastrophic failures,
right.
Terminal corrosion.
Running our live wells, running our electronics, whatever, first thing you know, your battery's dead, you go to crank up.
Deep cycling, having to make a choice between a cranking battery with good marine cranking ratings,
right,
or a deep cycle, and then our cranking ratings go away. So a pure lead battery.
This is a pure lead technology battery.
Right, we're using virgin material, not recycled. It's all virgin because we're trying to produce a battery that has the optimum level of performance just based on a clean lead-acid based technology.
Okay.
And with that, we can produce a battery that has thin plates, lots of thin plates, and because of that thin plate technology, we get a dual-purpose battery. Great cranking battery,
right,
highest cranking ratings in the market, and a true deep cycle battery.
So I can use it on my trolling motor, drain it down to nothing, charge it back, and just keep going.
Right, and the same thing even with your engine start. Today's engine start applications, pulling a lot of power, running the battery down, and then needing to get a fast recharge off the engine once we take off. And so this is a dual-purpose battery, gives us that flexibility of whether it's up front on the trolling motor or whether it's the engine start, one battery does both and does it in an extreme way.
And so it's lots of plates, that's why it's heavy.
Right.
And because of the pure lead and the technology behind this, a little more expensive.
Right.
But the lifetime of this battery is extreme.
Right. Traditional batteries, the terminals are made out of lead. Again, aimed at cost.
Right.
Easier. But we're using brass because it's highly electrically conductive.
Okay.
And we even do it in a design where it's almost like a nut and a bolt.
So that's what this piece is here.
Yeah, I've got a couple little samples here.
So this is brass all the way through.
Right.
With your lead, and this actually screws in. You can see the threads right here. And then you have a grommet, but this is all, if you turn it up, you can look at the serious amount of lead brass connection that is unsurpassed right here.
Right.
So you don't have any failures.
Exactly. Stainless steel post, tin plated brass, so it doesn't corrode on the outside just for different environmental purposes. And then essentially a big giant nut that compresses the terminal so that we're not going to get a leaker with the shock and the vibration that could be applied to the terminal from the battery cables, from the installation.
Right.
Again, it's all aimed at keeping the battery simple by design, but extreme in performance.
So these can take anything we can throw at them, bouncing down the lake at 70 or 80 miles an hour, and you don't have any failures because of any type of components.
We look at the battery and look at any potential weakness and address it by design. So the plates are under real high compression. We got these AGM pads in there, absorb glass mat. They're almost 28% larger than the container. We got to really squish it down and ram them in to get it in.
That's the weight.
Right, special plastic. And then we go from the internal of the battery, make sure that all the inner cell connectors can't move, so we epoxy them to the bottom of the cover.
Wow.
The cover's even epoxied on. It's not a heat seal, it's epoxy on, so the epoxy seal is actually stronger than the plastic. And then we go into a terminal design where it's like a nut and a bolt squeezed together.
So you don't have to check fluid levels, you don't have to, no maintenance on this. You charge it, you go fishing, you charge it when you come back, and that's it.
Right. Extreme in storage. Wintertime, especially if you're up north, you don't need to take the batteries out of the bolt. Just make sure your battery switches are in the off position. Battery's fully charged. It'll store the entire winter. And then in the spring, you're ready to go boating. You don't even have
Wow.
to charge up the battery.
Yeah.
And you could never do that with a conventional battery.
Right. It's amazing technology. When you use it, you've got it in your boat, you realize how awesome it is, because normal lead acid batteries that I've had, you know, that come in a lot of boats,
Right.
I end up replacing them 6 months, 8
Right.
months, 10 months, they're done, and you're replacing batteries. And the bad thing is when you have to replace one, it's always because you had a failure
Right.
somewhere. You didn't really know it. All of a sudden, boom, I'm down. You're like, and now, you know, you're in for it. And that could be you don't make weigh in, or you don't make it back with your family and you're on a little trip. So this is the best battery I've ever seen.
I mean, you know, it's interesting how dependent we are on this
On
kind
power.
of a product. I mean, you know, you're out fishing, especially in a tournament. Maybe you're having a really good run of luck and you're about ready to win the tournament. You jump into the back, you hit the key, that catastrophic failure just bites you right there, and you're done. And all of a sudden
Absolutely.
you're trying to figure out how to get your engine started. Can I pull one of the batteries out of my trolling set, you know, whatever. And with Odyssey, that's not something you'd ever have to worry about.
Quick question. The technology is awesome. What else is it used for?
Well, in the factory that we manufacture this in Warrensburg, Missouri, we have like 3 business sectors. So we are very big in military and aviation, combat, as well as some commercial.
So like F-18s, F-16s?
Right, right. They've actually been making a
tanks?
conversion as well from a flooded NICAD type technology into this technology. It's less expensive, but it's more reliable. So for them, it's a win-win no matter how you
So our
look at it.
military relies on them,
Right. Now, telecommunications,
cell phones.
outdoor cabinets and installations where you've got these remote communication sites. They're sitting out in the middle of the desert. They're not air conditioned or anything. The sun's beating down, and yet there's a set of batteries in that metal box. And boy, they're getting cooked real good, but you know, they've got long life. So telecommunications, power backup, you know, you think about the kind of power backup that's required in the data communications, you know, your big data centers now, all computerized power backup in case they have a momentary glitch. They got to have long, reliable product. And so that's what this is all about. So we've got 3 different segments. Specialty, which is where the Odyssey comes from. Lots of different segments in the specialty side. Commercial, city transit buses, police cars, fire trucks, power sport. all the
Professional
different-
anglers.
Right, exactly. Heavy duty marine. I mean, you know, get into your big sport fishing boats and
Right.
all. They've got the same need. They got to have reliability. So we've got those 3 different sectors.
So longest lasting, most reliable battery on the market, Odyssey. Check them out.